Fiverr Success Score is probably one of the biggest advantages new sellers on Fiverr have had in a long time. Plus, it's probably the most mysterious in the fact that nobody really knows what influences it, as Fiverr have baked in so many different variables. Well, that all changes today because I'm going to tell you exactly what's stopping you from increasing your score and how to fix it. From the more common symptoms like cancelled orders and late deliveries to the factors that you've never even realized. And more importantly, I'm going to show you the steps that you can take to fix it. Now, I get asked the question, how can I increase my Fiverr success score? A lot. And I mean a lot, like 4 to 5 times a week. Normally it's from new sellers or those that have just been going through a bit of a quiet period. And they found themselves all of a sudden dropped from a level 2 seller down to a level 1, or even worse, a no level seller at all. But before we get into how to fix this, you should understand one thing: why the success score is actually a beneficial feature for all new sellers. You see, before the success score came along, there was a simple tier structure: level 1, level 2, top rated seller. And to hit those tiers, we just had to hit requirements. Level 1 was $400, I believe, 120 days on the platform and 10 orders. Level 2 was higher requirements, and top rated was even higher requirements. Once we'd hit those requirements on the 15th of every single month, normally it would be automatically reviewed and accepted, and we would then move on to the next level. However, the top rated sellers were manually chosen. They were manually reviewed, not automatically. And they still are today. However, Fiverr have implemented something to, let's say, rip us off a little bit. And they've implemented the Fiverr Seller Plus program. Meaning that if you're a level 2 and you've hit the requirements for top rated seller, rather than waiting for that manual review, which sometimes could be months. For me, I hit the requirements for top rated, and it was around 3 to 4 months after that I actually got my top rated badge. Well, now you can pay their Seller Plus monthly fee, which is $20, or for the more features, it's like $50. And one of the features is that they will review your gig for top rated much faster than all of the other peasants on the platform. So they are basically blackmailing you, bribing you, whatever you want to call it. They're ripping you off in a way that's saying like, hey, you want your top rated badge? Pay us a monthly fee. It's an option. And of course, if you have that top rated badge, will it make a difference to your orders from level 2? To be honest, for me, I didn't see a drastic change. I really didn't. I don't think it matters that much. Level 2 to top rated, I don't think clients really look at that. I think they're more interested in your experience and your portfolio. If you have that, then I think you can succeed just as well as a level 2. But I digress. Going back to the Fiverr Seller Success Score. Now, the benefit for new sellers is that before, once you hit a tier, it was very difficult to drop down or just lose that tier altogether. So if you got to level 2, you would pretty much stay there indefinitely unless you did something really bad. And I mean, you could go away for a month's holiday, come back and you're still a level 2. So that was maybe the negative factor, because it kept all of these people at level 2 and top rated sellers, even though they were not putting in a lot of effort into their Fiverr business. Fiverr Seller Success Score comes along. It scares all the level 2 and top rated people because they know they have to be active constantly. And the effort that they have to put in to keep that level is now much harder. Which is great, because since that has come in, there is now less top rated sellers. There is now less level 2 sellers, because all of those lazy ones, they've dropped off. They've gone down to having, for example, no level whatsoever. And this is great for all the new sellers, because they can come in, and if you're willing to put in the effort and the hard work, you can rank yourself up. And then at the top, the competition is now much lower than it once was. Now, let's get into some of the common factors as to why or what affects your success score. Now, the common factors, of course, are order completion rates. If you're completing orders, fantastic. Success score will go up. If you're not completing orders, meaning that orders are then getting cancelled, well, you know where your success score is going to go. The same with late deliveries. If you're delivering late, which is a big no-no, now everybody is going to be late on deliveries, okay? I'm late all the time, but you never deliver late. You always, always, always extend the order, okay? Couple of tips right now. Don't let the order go to late and then say to the client, oh, hey, sorry, I'm running a little bit late. Always speak to the client before it gets into being late, okay? If that's 12 hours, one day, you should already know in advance that the order is going to be late. Speak to them in advance. Just say, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm going to need an extra 24 or 48 hours, whatever it is. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, the clients are absolutely cool with it. Unless they've told you previously that, hey, I have a strict deadline, they're absolutely fine. Then, once the order goes into late, extend the order, okay? Go to the resolution center and click extend the delivery date. Extend it by whatever you need and have the client accept that extension before you even consider delivering, okay? This is very simple. I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but I'm sure there's a lot that don't know it either. Okay, so always extend the order. I pretty much extend, I would probably say at least 35% of all my orders because I'm always that little bit late, okay? Next up is, of course, client satisfaction. Now, every time you deliver, you want to be aiming for the reviews. The reviews are what is most important, okay? Orders and reviews. These are going to help rank your gig. Also, they're going to help your Fiverr Seller Success Score. You want to be getting those 5 stars. Anything below 5 stars is not great. Anything below 4 stars, now we're in the red flag territory, okay? 5 stars is what we want to be aiming for. And not all clients are going to leave you reviews. For myself, only around, I think the analytics says 63% of my clients actually leave reviews. The rest of them just don't bother because some people don't. It's like if you go to a restaurant, do you always leave a Google review? Some people are on that and they always leave Google reviews. Others, like myself, no, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to waste my time. Yeah, I've got my work, I've got my food. That's it. I'm done. I don't need to leave a review unless something really amazing happened. So you're not going to get reviews from everybody. Those people that you don't get reviews from, feel free to chase them up. As long as you feel confident that the work you gave was amazing and the connection that you had with the client was great, chasing them up. Just say, hey, if you have a couple of minutes, just please, if you can leave me a review, it would really help my gig. Do not ask them to leave 5 stars. That is against Fiverr policy. You cannot influence their rating, but you can ask them to rate you, okay? Now, another factor which maybe you might not know that will influence your Fiverr Success Score is if a client reports you, okay? So this could be for a number of reasons. It could be the way that you speak to the client. Maybe you are rude, aggressive, sarcastic, and they just don't understand the sarcasm. It could be that, you've delivered something which is below the standard of what they were expecting or what they agreed to, and you're not willing to do any or make any changes. Okay, they can report your gig. That is a big red flag because that is then when Fiverr customer support will get involved. Okay, so you do have to be careful of this. They can report your gig and also they can block you. This goes into a bit of a black mark and it will be noted by the Fiverr algorithm. Trust me, it will. Next up, of course, is repeat business. This is actually going to help you rank your Fiverr Success Score. Okay, so repeat business, as you've probably seen on some people's gigs, we have this nice big banner saying, hey, my clients come back to me all the time. Fantastic. You need a 95% of your repeat buyers to come back to you, okay? So you need 95% of people to order again. Now, this is not exactly correct, to be honest. It's not exactly 95 because I don't have 95% of my clients are repeat buyers. Probably something like maybe 30% are, okay? But here's the quick thing about repeat buyers. You can live on Fiverr platform with just focusing on new orders all the time. That's not a problem. You really can. But repeat buyers are amazing because whenever you're going through a little bit of a quiet patch, you are guaranteed to get some random message from a buyer that you worked with a couple of months ago saying, hey Tom, hey Jerry, whatever your name is, hey, I'm ready for another project. Yeah? They've already worked with you. They know how you work, they like it, they're happy to work with you, they want to work again. And now that quiet period has just gone, Yes, this repeat buyer. So this is why you really need to focus on that client satisfaction the first time as well, because then people will come back to you. And then if you get that whole 95%, you get a nice big banner on your gig saying, hey, my clients come back to me. And this is a great selling point for any new potential buyers clicking on your gig and seeing this. So really, you need to focus on that and work on that too. Now, let's go to the least common things. The things that you probably didn't even know were impacting your Fiverr Success Score. And this is where I want to talk about private feedback. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell is private feedback? Well, I'm going to show you because I actually went through the whole process just to show you this. So, when a buyer accepts your delivery, they can leave you public feedback, which is the 5-star system. Great, you've got 5 stars. But the problem is, after that, they can leave you private feedback. Now, this comes up 24 hours after they have accepted the delivery. And actually, I ordered a $5 logo just to show you this process of what happens. And in case you're wondering what a $5 logo looks like, it looks something like this. Not maybe something I would recommend. But I went through this process. Of course, I left this seller a 5-star rating. And when I leave, a couple of things, 2 things. When I leave the feedback for this seller, those public 5-star ratings, underneath, I have lots of different boxes that I can select. It can be the fact that this guy was great at communication. It can be the fact that the delivery was on time. There's a lot of these extra boxes which I can select. And they will have an impact, and I will show you what that impact is in just a minute. Now, the other private feedback is 24 hours after they accept, they will get a notification on their Fiverr dashboard, also on their email, saying, hey, fantastic working with whatever seller you worked with. Now, would you mind just rating them in private? And you'll have a couple of questions on there. Basically, Fiverr asking you how your experience was. And this private feedback will affect you. So this will then be noted. It will go to your Fiverr Success Score and it will have an impact. Therefore, how can you manipulate this, let's say? Because it's a hard one. Yeah, they're getting a message 24 hours later and it's like you have no idea what they're going to do. My suggestion would be, after somebody leaves you feedback, after they complete the order, leave you feedback, just message them. Simply message them. Say, it was amazing working with you. Thank you for your review. Really appreciated. In around 24 hours, you're going to receive an email from Fiverr. So just tell them what's going to happen. You're going to receive an email from Fiverr asking you for some private feedback about your experience with me. If you could make sure to fill this out. So again, you cannot prompt them to leave good feedback. It's a no-no. But you can push them to fill it out. Just say, hey, if you could fill this out, it would really help me and my business a lot here on Fiverr. If you just say that and you actually give it to them saying like, hey, this will actually help me, like personally, this will help me. 9 times out of 10, they will do it for you because, they feel like, okay, this is actually going to have some impact. Otherwise, they see an email like this and they're like, oh, no, I've already rated him once. I can't be bothered to do it again. Unless they had a bad experience, 100%, they will fill it out if they had a bad experience. So you really want them to actually fill in this private information the best way they can. So again, my suggestion, send them a message just saying, hey, 24 hours, you're going to receive this. If you can actually just fill this out, I would really appreciate it. And it will help my Fiverr business a lot. Okay, that is the private feedback. Now, let me show you real quick exactly where those boxes under that 5-star rating go when the client rates you and how you can actually see what is impacting your success score. So right here, this is my level overview. And of course, right now we see maintain current level of 9. And I'll be completely honest, I've been on level 9 for probably around 8 months. Yeah, getting your Fiverr Success Score up is very hard. It really is. Okay, bringing it down, no problem, but getting it back up again is very difficult. If we click here on this arrow, we can scroll down. Now, as you can see, because I've actually created not just my gigs, but my industries as well, my services as UGC creator and video content creator. They're currently ranking at 9 each. But if we go down, we see each one has a score. So we got 10, 8, 10, 10, 9, 10. You can see straight away that the majority of my gigs here are in the 9 range. Therefore, I'm getting a success score of a 9. It's basically that simple. But we can see what's impacting them. So for example here, level 8, client satisfaction, negative impact, okay? So client satisfaction, this could be, for example, that I've been getting less than 5 stars. It could also be, for example, again, the private messages that clients are not so satisfied. But once again, don't take this too personal, because one bad feedback versus, let's say, 25-star feedback will have a big impact. So, it could just be that one feedback that's impacting it, and it is going to take time. It's going to take between, I think, 90 days is the process that it takes to refresh stuff. So anything that happened 91 days ago from today has now disappeared. But anything that's 89 days old, now it has another 2 more days, and then it will disappear from your account. Yeah, so it refreshes every 90 days. So if we look at some of the others, so here, number 10, everything is green. 10, green. We've got a 9 here. Effective communication, okay? Room for growth. Now, the only way Fiverr would know anything about my effective communication is, of course, those boxes at the very end when a client rates you. So obviously, maybe they just haven't been ticking the effective communication box, and that could simply be it. As you can see, pretty much a lot of these is effective communication. So for myself, to be honest, all I have to do for these 3 gigs right here, I just have to increase that effective communication. And to do that, the only thing I would do is basically be over communicative. I would be over communicative and hope that at the end, when they rate me, that effective communication button is ticked. And that's it. That is really the Fiverr Success Score explained. Basically, you just have to put in a hell of a lot of effort now, and it will refresh every 90 days. And those are the things which are actually going to be affecting your score. And those are the, let's say, the private feedback are the invisible things which you probably never even thought of, but you can manipulate it by speaking to the client. Now, if you found this video helpful and you are a new seller or you're looking to start freelancing on Fiverr, then maybe go check out this video right here where I talk about the 3 best gigs for any new beginner to start right now.